Hello everyone. Good evening from wherever you are, and thank you for joining me today. Okay, please just hold on. All right. Hello everyone. Good evening from wherever you are. You're all welcome to our Facebook Live today, and I will be your host for today. My name is Chioma Odikulu, and you're all welcome to today's class. I refer to myself as a renewed parent, a masterpiece, a work in progress, and the latest one, a light bearer. So you're all welcome to class today. So today we'll be discussing about, please, if you're live with us, please drop a comment. Let's know you're here with us. Just say hello to us, just say hi to us, so we would know you're here with us. So today we'll be discussing about how not to raise an entitled child. Yes, a good number of us parents, we have this challenge of saying, okay, my child feels entitled, what can I do to help my child? So today we're going to be discussing how we can help our children, how we can ensure we don't raise children that grow up to feel entitled. So let's go straight right into our conversation for today. I believe we'll all have a great time. So please come along with me. So who is an entitled child? An entitled child is a child who believes they deserve special treatment. An entitled child is a child who believes he deserves special privileges, or who believes he deserves special material possessions without effort, one, without respect, or without appreciation. So an entitled child is a child that believes he deserves all those things, but without putting in the efforts, without appreciation, or without respect. Entitled children often expect things to be given to them even without them earning it. They struggle with disappointment. They also struggle with frustration. When things don't go their way, when they don't get what they want, they struggle with frustration. I can see Mrs. Isioma. Thank you very much for joining me, Ma. You're welcome. So entitled children struggle with frustration. Entitled children struggle with disappointment. They don't want to be frustrated. They just don't want to feel disappointed. They believe they are expected, or they believe they are meant to get everything they request for, even without putting in the effort, without appreciation, and without respect. So that is an entitled child. So what are the signs you can begin to see in a child that you can say, okay, this child is an entitled child? Number one, when a child frequently complains about not getting what they want, when you have a child that frequently complains about not getting things they want, about not getting things done their own way, that's a sign that this child could be an entitled child. Number two, when this child lacks respect for rules and authority, it's a sign that this child is an entitled child. When the child does not show respect for people, the child does not show respect for rules, probably rules in your home, the child does not show respect for authority figure in your home or in the society, it's a sign that this child could be an entitled child. Number three, when this child has difficulty sharing or taking turns, when you have a child that finds it difficult to share, when you have a child that finds it difficult to take turns, it could be a sign that this child is entitled. You have this child, for example, that it's very difficult for this child to share even after teaching, it's very difficult for this child to take turns even after teaching. It could be a sign that this child might be an entitled child. Number four, when this child expects reward for basic responsibilities. When you have this child that just does his or her basic responsibility and this child expects you to reward him or her, for example, basic house chores. This child has just done basic house chores, but this child wants you to always reward them every time they do their basic chores or their basic responsibilities. It could be a sign that this child is an entitled child. Then number five, when this child takes what they have for granted. You have this child, for example, that just take what they have for granted. They don't value what they have. They don't appreciate what they have. It could be a sign that this child is an entitled child. Now, who is a grateful child? Because obviously that is our focus, that is our goal. We want to raise children that are grateful. We want to raise children that express and communicate gratitude, not entitled children. So who is a grateful child? A grateful child is a child who appreciates what they have, and is a child that shows genuine appreciation for people and things around them. So a grateful child is this child that shows genuine appreciation for the people around them and for the things around them. A grateful child is this child that shows appreciation for what they have. A grateful child is this child that shows appreciation for the beautiful gifts they are blessed with. A grateful child is aware that not everything in life comes easily. A grateful child easily recognizes the effort of others. A grateful child is this child that recognizes the effort of others. A grateful child is this child that recognizes the efforts the parents are putting in to provide their needs. A grateful child is this child that recognizes the effort of their siblings, of their brother, of their sister. A grateful child is this child that recognizes the contributions, the values other people are bringing to the home or bringing to the table. That is a grateful child, and that is our goal as parents. We want to raise children that are grateful. We don't want to raise children that grow up being entitled. So what are the signs of a grateful child? What are the signs you can see and say, oh, this child is growing towards being a grateful child? Number one, a child that appreciates, that shows gratitude sincerely without being prompted to do so. When you have this child that just shows gratitude without being told to do it, it's a sign that this child is grateful. For example, you've given your child something and this child communicates or expresses gratitude without being told to express it. Or for example, you've dropped your child off in school and your child is coming down from the car and your child expresses their gratitude to you as their parent, even without being told to do so. It's a sign that this child is a grateful child. Number two, when this child shows appreciation for acts of kindness done towards them. You have this child that shows appreciation for little acts of kindness done towards them. It doesn't even matter if it's something big or something small, but this child understands that this act is an act of kindness, and this child expresses appreciation. This child communicates gratitude. It's a sign that this child is a grateful child. Then number three, you have a grateful child when this child is able to express their satisfaction and contentment with what they have. You have this child that is grateful. You have this child that is contented. You have this child that is satisfied with what they have. Even if they understand that they don't have everything at the moment, but they are grateful for what they have now. They are grateful for the gifts they are blessed with now. That is a sign of a grateful child. Then number four, you have a grateful child when this child understands that privileges are earned and not owned. One of the signs of a grateful child is a child that understands that privileges are earned but not owed. This child understands that, okay, no one owes me these privileges. I have to earn some privileges. I have to put in the work to earn some privileges. I have to contribute my quota. I have to do my best to earn these privileges. That is a sign you have a grateful child. Then, how can we raise a grateful child? Because that is our goal here. How can we raise a grateful child? Number one, we have to lead by examples as parents. We have to express gratitude. We have to communicate gratitude. We have to practice gratitude. That is one of the ways we can, raise grateful children. Because oftentimes our children mimic what they see. If we express our gratitude as parents daily and avoid being entitled, our children can learn from our actions. When we learn as parents to express our gratitude, it's very easy for our children to pick up and learn from us. So that is one of the ways we can raise children that are grateful. When we constantly say things like, I appreciate what you've done. I am grateful for your acts of kindness. I am grateful for your contributions towards our home. I am grateful for what you've done. You know, when we constantly say thank you for helping out with the chores, thank you for helping your sibling, thank you for putting this together, you know, that is a parent expressing gratitude, and it's very easy for our children to mimic this gratitude. So please give me a minute. Let me just plug in my device quickly. Sorry. That is a sign. All right, thank you. That is a sign, or that is one of the ways we can raise children that are grateful. When, as parents, we constantly verbalize our gratitude to our children, you know, it's very easy for our children to pick up gratitude, you know, from us. So as parents, we have to model gratitude. We have to model being grateful. We don't have to model entitlement. As a parent, what are you modeling to your child? Because your child is seeing. Our children can see. They pick more of our actions than what we say. So what are you modeling to your child? Are you modeling gratitude? Are you communicating gratitude? Or are you that type of parent that complains from morning till night? Are you the type of parent that immediately you're stepping your foot into the home, you're looking for things that are not done properly? You're looking for the house that is not properly arranged. Are you the type of parent that complains? Or are you the type of parent that is entitled, that feels everything must be done for you? If we want to raise children that are grateful, if we don't want to raise, obviously we don't want to raise entitled children, we as parents have to model being grateful. We as parents have to model communicating and expressing gratitude first, and our children can see us and easily pick it up and begin to run with it. You know, another way we can raise children that are grateful is to teach our children the value of hard work. You know, one of the ways to avoid raising entitled children is by teaching them the concept of rewards and privileges. We can tell them that privileges come from efforts. We can tell them they need to put in value. They need to add in value. They need to contribute their value. They need to contribute their value to the family, to the system, to wherever they find themselves. We need to teach our children the concept of contributing their efforts. We need to teach our children the concept of hard work. We need to teach our children what they need to do. You know, that is one of the ways we can raise children that are grateful. And how can we go about this? Number one, as a parent, assign age-appropriate chores without offering rewards for every task. Assign age-appropriate chores to your child or to your children, and you don't necessarily have to offer rewards for their chores because it's their responsibility. It's one of the ways of them even understanding responsibility and taking up responsibility from an early age. So if we want to teach our children the concept of hard work, we need to start early to introduce age-appropriate chores to our children. Another way we can teach our children hard work is to encourage them to earn things through consistent efforts. For example, they could earn allowances by probably contributing something in the home. They could earn allowances by adding value to the system of the home. For example, you have this child that is very creative. You have this child that loves craft. You can tell the child, okay, I can see you love craft. Would you want to make a particular craft, maybe a birthday card for your sister or your brother, and you get paid for doing that? So it's one of the ways we can teach our children the concept of hard work, teaching them consistent effort, teaching them how they can bring in value, how they can earn by bringing in their value on the table. Another way we can teach our children hard work is to let them experience challenges and help them walk through frustration rather than solving all their problems for them. As parents, we should allow our children sometimes experience or go through some form of challenges. We should allow them to think critically. We should allow them to solve their problems and not being the Lord and mighty all the time. Not just being on standby, ready to solve their problems for them without allowing them and giving them opportunity to think. As parents, it's our duty to encourage our children to problem solve. When we do that, we are teaching them the concept of hard work. Now, an example, as a parent, instead of buying a new toy for your child immediately, you can have your child to save up to earn, extra income, probably by contributing their value to the house, just doing something. So instead of you rushing to fix that toy that is broken, why don't you teach your child the concept of, okay, you can earn some money by bringing this value to the table. You can earn some money by carrying out these responsibilities in the home. Yes. So another way we can teach raise children that are grateful is encouraging volunteering and giving back. As parents, we should involve our children in charitable activities so that they can see firsthand that not everyone is as fortunate. We should encourage our children to volunteer. We should encourage our children to give back, because when they give back and when they volunteer, they understand that it's not everybody that is as fortunate as I am. And they begin to, practice gratitude. They begin to become more aware that they need to be grateful for what they have. It could be donating a toy. It could be volunteering their time. It could just be teaching empathy and appreciating what other people have done. It's a way of giving back. When we teach our children this, our children learn to be grateful. And we as parents have to model volunteering. We as parents have to model giving back to people and to the society. So as a parent, when was the last time you even volunteered? Probably in your child's school or in your church or in an event. So we need to model this. When you model to volunteer, it's very easy for our children to pick it up. When you model giving back, it's very easy for our children to pick it up. When you model being charitable, sharing your toys, used clothes, used toys that you're not using and that are occupying the space in your home, it's very easy for our children to pick it up, and it creates a sense of gratitude in them. Another way we can raise grateful children is for us as parents, to focus on the experiences, not things. Rather than focusing on material gifts, as parents, we should prioritize spending time together as a family. We should prioritize offering our time. We should prioritize being present with our children. We should not always put material possession up there. It's good, it's important, but we need to prioritize spending time with our families. Experiences like having family trip, having movie nights together as a family, cooking together as a family. It teaches our children that the most valuable things in life aren't always material objects. When we learn to give in our time, when we learn to spend time with our children, when we learn to spend time having conversations, discussing with them, playing with them, doing games with them, talking to them, our children get to understand that the most valuable things of life doesn't have to be always material things. And you find out that they begin to be grateful. They begin to express and communicate their gratitude, for the gifts we give to them, for spending time, and for everything they have, within them. For example, as a parent, instead of making every birthday, getting gift for your child, sometimes you can create memorable experiences. You can say, okay, this birthday, we're going out for a dinner together as a family. We're going out to play games. We're going out to visit family and friends. Just make it memorable. Sometimes you just, you just add these little things here and there. It makes our children to understand that these beautiful things, these valuable gifts of life, doesn't necessarily always have to be material things. Another way we can raise grateful children is to teach our children delayed gratification. We should teach our children to understand, teaching our children, learning how to wait. Teaching them to wait for valuable skill, because waiting is a valuable skill. Teaching our children to wait, teaching our children to be patient, not always having everything they need, immediately now. Teaching them the concept of waiting. because delayed gratification is a valuable skill that helps our children avoid a sense of entitlement. When our children understand and learn delayed gratification, it helps them to avoid a sense of entitlement. We should encourage patience. We should encourage our children to be patient by setting limits on immediate gratification. It's not, I want it now, now, now. For example, you have this child, mommy, I want biscuit now. I want it now. Sometimes as parents, we should teach them to wait. You have this, you want to eat this food now, now, now. Sometimes we should teach them, it's not about now, you need to wait. Even we as parents have to model delayed gratification. We don't have to finish everything we have now. Sometimes we should wait because it teaches gratitude. For example, if your child asks you for a treat, maybe your child has asked for a snacks, for a yogurt, you can tell the child you can actually wait to have your snacks. Probably you can have your snacks later or after dinner, or some other time. It teaches our children the concept of delayed gratification. How can we nurture delayed gratification in our children? Number one, we should create a reward system where they must wait for a prize, after accomplishing certain goals. We should create a system in our home where our children will wait for a prize. Probably you say, okay, I'll give you a prize when you carry out this task or when you carry out this activity. We should create that system for them to wait. Let them anticipate it. Let them wait. Let it not just be now, now, now. Another way we can nurture delayed gratification in our children, is to limit, screen time and material reward, so they are not given every time immediately. Sometimes limit your material reward. Everything is not all about material reward. I can see Evelyn Friday. Thank you, Ma, for joining us. You're welcome. Everything is not all about material reward. Sometimes we should limit this material reward. Sometimes your child is carrying out a particular task at home. Instead of always rewarding this child with something material, you can say, oh, thank you very much. I appreciate what you've done. I appreciate the fact that you've kept your room tidy. I appreciate the fact that you've washed the dishes. I appreciate the fact that you've kept your space clean. It doesn't always have to be giving them material gifts, to appreciate them. Sometimes just acts of kindness, appreciating them by just telling them, being grateful, it's another way we can, encourage our children or nurture delayed gratification in our children. So another way we can raise grateful children is to encourage reflection and gratitude practice. So as parents, we should encourage our children to practice gratitude daily. Have a daily gratitude practice where our children need to reflect on what they are grateful for. At dinner time or at bedtime, when your children are about to go to bed, you can just speak to them. You can tell them, can you tell me one thing you're grateful for today? Can you tell me one thing you're grateful for our home, for our family? Or can you tell me one thing you're grateful for in school? It's a way of creating this consciousness that you need to be grateful, so that is what we can do as parents, just teaching them, okay, asking them, prompting them, even if they don't say, just prompting them, asking them to tell us things they are grateful for. It teaches our children to pause and to think about the positive aspects of life. Sometimes they might not even have the immediate answer, but when you ask them, sometimes they might just think, they might reflect, it starts to create something in them. It starts to create a sense of, awareness. I need to be grateful. It's another way we can raise grateful or children that express gratitude. Some gratitude activities we can carry out with our children include, number one, keeping a gratitude journal where you write down or draw what you're thankful for. So as a parent, you can have a gratitude journal and also get a gratitude journal for your child, where your child needs to write what they are grateful for every day. Before they go to bed, they can pick it up and jot down what they were grateful for that particular day. You can also create a gratitude jar as a family where every family member drops appreciation notes. It's like a jar. Every family member drops an appreciation note, what they are grateful for. Probably you could open up the jar at the end of the month or at the end of the week, but it's just a jar where every member of the family drops a gratitude note. It creates this sense of gratitude. It creates this awareness that, okay, we need to be grateful. So that is one of the ways we can raise children that are grateful. Then the other way we can raise grateful children, or children that express gratitude, is to limit overindulgence. As parents, we should avoid overindulging our children with material possessions, as I said earlier, or giving in to every demand. You don't have to give in to every demand. Your child is demanding biscuits, now you're giving. Sweets, now you're giving. Fruits, you're giving. Everything you're giving in. No, we should avoid overindulging our children by not giving in to all their demands at a particular time. We can set clear limits that teaches our children to value what they have and reduce the likelihood of entitlement. So when you have this child that is always asking, "Mommy, I want biscuit now, I want sweet now, I want yogurt now," you can teach this child delayed gratification. You can tell this child about your limits you have in your home, the boundaries you have in your home. When you do that, it reduces the sense of entitlement. But when you always give in, you always give them what they request, you always give in now, you're doing a disservice to this child, because you're not teaching this child the concept of delayed gratification. You're rather overindulging this child. So how can we avoid overindulging our children? Number one, as parents, we need to set clear boundaries for screen time, for treats, and for toys. What are the boundaries in your home for screen time? Or do you use screen as a reward? When your child does something, okay, go and watch the television. When your child does something, okay, go and take your iPad. We as parents need to set boundaries for screen time. We also need to set boundaries for treats. Is it all the time you give your child the treats? When do you give your child the treats? You need to fix it in your home. You need to set these boundaries. You need to set these clear rules. And your child needs to understand these boundaries. You also need to have boundaries for toys. When can you use your toys? What are the rules after using your toys? I'm also talking to myself as a parent. What do you need to do after using your toys? Who takes responsibility of tidying up the toys? So we need to communicate all this to our children. When we do that, we're helping them to avoid overindulgence. And another way we can avoid overindulging our children is to say no when appropriate. Explaining to our children that not every request can or should be granted. I usually tell my children it's okay to say no. No is a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence. So as a parent, it's okay to say no. It's not every time we'll give in to the request of our children, provided we explain to them that, okay, this thing can be done now, later. This request can actually be looked at later. When we do that, we're helping to avoid overindulging our children. Then the last way we can inculcate gratitude children, or children that express gratitude, is to use positive reinforcement for grateful behavior. So as a parent, when your child shows gratitude or kindness, as parents, we should acknowledge and praise their actions. Use positive reinforcement. When we use positive reinforcement, it encourages our children to repeat those behaviors in the future. Example could be, number one, as a parent, you could say, "I'm really grateful. I'm really proud of how you say thank you to your grandma." So when you understand, when you catch your child expressing gratitude, or when you catch your child expressing being grateful or thankful, you can say, "Oh wow, I appreciate the way you were grateful to your sister. I appreciate the way you express gratitude to your daddy. I appreciate the way you express gratitude to your classmate." Reinforcing it. When we do that, it creates this consciousness in our children that, oh wow, this is a good thing, so I can continue doing it. Being grateful is a good thing, so I need to continue. So as parents, we need to reinforce. When you catch your child being grateful, don't criticize, don't judge, rather tell the child, "I saw you. It's a good thing you're doing. I appreciate the fact that you were grateful today." Another way is that it's wonderful that you helped your friend, without being asked. You can tell your child, "Oh, I observed the way you helped your sister with her chores, or your brother with his chores. It's a wonderful thing. You did it even without being asked. Oh, it's such a wonderful thing to do. I am so grateful for you doing that." When we do that, it's very easy for our children to say, "Oh wow, it's a good thing to be grateful." And you see that gratitude, they start to practice gratitude because they understand that it's a good thing. Then in summary, as parents, we must understand that we need to raise children that are grateful, children that communicate gratitude, and not children that are entitled. You know, as parents, when we encourage gratitude in our homes, we are helping to raise children who will appreciate what they have. When we encourage or when we raise great children that express gratitude, we are raising children that get to appreciate what they have. We are raising children that will respect people in the society, and we are raising children that will be better prepared for the challenges of life. So it's very important and very key as parents we understand that we need to raise children that communicate gratitude and not entitled children. And we have the responsibility to put the right systems, to put the right structures in place to ensure that our children communicate and express gratitude and not feel entitled. So we must understand that gratitude isn't something that can be taught overnight. You don't teach gratitude overnight. You don't teach gratitude once. It's a habit that is nurtured over time. So as parents, we need to understand that we don't teach gratitude just once. We need to nurture the habit of gratitude over time. It's a journey. It's a process. It's not just a one-time thing. You just teach gratitude and that is all. No, it's a journey. So we must continue this journey together as parents. We must continue to teach. We must continue to teach gratitude and the importance of gratitude, to our children. We need to teach you to the point that our children begin to internalize it. We need to teach you to the point that our children begin to understand that I need to be grateful because I understand the importance of being grateful. I need to express and communicate gratitude because I know the benefit of communicating gratitude and not expressing gratitude because that is what my father said or that is what my mother said. We need to teach it to the point that our children begin to internalize it. And finally, as parents, we need to model gratitude. We don't have to model entitlement, because when you're an entitled parent, it's very easy to raise an entitled child. So if you're a grateful parent or a parent that communicates gratitude, it's very easy for you to also raise a child that will also communicate gratitude. A child that will be grateful, a child that will be appreciative of the beautiful gifts of life. So thank you very much for listening to me today. You're all welcome. I can see Adobe Ezine Obuna. I don't know if that is the Ezine I know, but you're welcome, ma. Good evening. Thank you for joining us today in our Facebook Live. If you've got any comments, please drop in your comments so we could see your comments. What have you picked from our class today? What would you be doing differently as a parent to raise a child that communicates and expresses gratitude and not an entitled child? So any comments? Do we have any comments? Do we have any suggestion? Any questions? Do you have any questions? Do you have anything you want to add today to our live class? Okay, I can't see any. I'll assume that we understand. We are going to go and implement what we have learned. And I believe a good number of us are going to catch replay. So thank you very much. Please remember to share our video with your family and friends, with your loved ones. You might share it to someone that's actually needs it. So please share this knowledge with other people. And we also have a YouTube channel called Becoming the Renewed Parent. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can see some videos. We have some videos in our YouTube channel where you get to learn about parenting. And we also have a Facebook group called Becoming the Renewed Parent. Please join us. Let's grow together. Let's journey together. Let's create the narrative. Let's create a different narrative for our children. Let's create a different system, a different template that will be very useful and positive for our children and generations yet unborn. So let's grow together. Just hop into this train. Hop into this train and let's keep moving So thank you very much for listening to me today. I really do appreciate your time, and I do not take your time for granted. So thank you very much. Remember to be renewed in your minds. Till I come your way next time in our live session, do have a great night. See you later and have a good day. Bye.